Well, a very good morning to you. Let's get into our news at 8 o'clock this morning. Students at Wits University in Braamfontein, Johannesburg, have vowed to shut down the institution when they resume their protests today. They say demonstrations will continue until their demands are met. Yesterday, a 35-year-old bystander was shot when police fired rubber bullets and stun grenades to disperse a large group of protesting students in Braamfontein. Two student journalists were also shot and wounded. They've been admitted to the Mill Park Hospital. Protesters are demanding that students with historical debt be allowed to register. Meanwhile, Police Minister Bheki Cele is today expected to visit the home of a man killed during yesterday's protest at Wits University. For more on this, let's cross over to our Chriselda Lewis. She's in Kempton Park. Chriselda, a very good morning to you. I know that you were at the protests yesterday. You saw the tension that unfolded there in the area, and of course, this led to the killing of a 35-year-old man. You are now close to, or if not outside of the man's house. Talk to us about what we're expecting today.
Well, good morning to you, Leanne. We're expecting the Police Minister Bheki Cele, accompanied by the Gauteng Police Commissioner Elias Mawela, to visit the family of the man who we now know as Ntogozisi Ntumba. That is the man who was shot and killed yesterday on the sidelines of the fees protests in Braamfontein. He had gone to the clinic in the area where the protests had been taking place, and unfortunately, as he was walking out of the door, he was then caught in the action that was taking place there. Exclusive footage that the SABC has been running over the past 24 hours does show what is believed, Leanne, to have happened in the hours or the minutes before he was shot, and the moment that he was shot, and when Mthokozisi Ntumba tried to stand up and walked a few meters away after he had been shot, and then he had collapsed and passed on. So the police minister is without a doubt going to be visiting a very distraught family this morning, who's going to be wanting answers. The Independent Police Investigative Directorate, in a statement that it issued a few moments ago, indicating that IPID investigators are working around the clock to try and gather evidence about what is believed to have happened. And in instances like this, Leanne, if it is found that a police officer may have been negligent in the manner in which they conducted their duties, usually this is led by a suspension if the IPID believes that there is enough evidence at that particular point to prove that there might have been some negligence on the part of police. Over the past couple of hours, since last night, well, in fact, since yesterday afternoon, there's been widespread condemnation for the manner in which police had conducted themselves towards the protesting students who are calling for inclusion into all universities in the country. The complaint, of course, is that they're being excluded as a result of owing universities fees. And what they're saying is that they've been promised free education in this country, and that has not come to fruition. So now, unfortunately, this has cost someone their lives, a civilian who was going to a clinic and walking out of that door and not part of the protests themselves. So the police minister will definitely be met by a family which is really in grief this morning. As I arrived here in Kempton Park, one of the family members met me at the gate, and of course we've moved just a little bit away from that gate this morning to give the family some privacy, and as we await for the police minister Bheki Cele, together with the Gauteng police commissioner, to arrive. And certainly, you know, from the commentary that we've been hearing, Leanne, the Human Rights Commission was also on scene yesterday when police had shot rubber bullets, and some of the students had been arrested. And what the Human Rights Commission says is going to investigate the situation, but their preliminary thoughts on what they had witnessed was that police seem to have been heavy-handed in the manner in which they dealt with students at the protest yesterday. So at this particular point, we will not be speaking to the family. We will await the police minister to come here and address the family. We will hear then what you will have to say. I don't think the media would be allowed into that engagement with the family of the deceased Mthokozisi Ntumba. So at this stage, Leanne, we wait for that visit of the police minister Bheki Cele together with the Gauteng Police Commissioner. We're expecting him to be here in Kempton Park at about 9 o'clock this morning.
All right, Chriselda Lewis, thanks very much for the update coming from Kempton Park ahead of the minister's visit. One waits to hear the reaction, I imagine, from the family and from already the footage that we are seeing, which the SABC has. There is a massive case for the police to answer to for that alleged killing. So we'll wait on that. I'm sure we'll get some more updates on the day. Thanks very much, Chriselda.